Hi, I'm Josh, and this is Cars and Joshy.
Before I take this steering column out to paint it black, you can see my canceling cam right here has a piece broken off. You're supposed to be able to put this little spring down in here for the horn, and it's got a little tab on it right here. You just push it down in there and turn it, and it locks into this little place right here. But it broke off on this one, so I'm gonna go ahead and change out this canceling cam. Way to do that, go ahead and pull this clip off, pull this nut off. Take that piece off. What you're going for is that little snap ring right there. So this tool pushes this plate down and allows you to get to that snap ring. See how it's pushing it down? I found the easiest way to get that snap ring out to pry it up with the screwdriver, and then or pry one end up with the screwdriver, and then just work my way around it with the pick and lifting it up and out of the groove until I got the whole snap ring out of the groove. So now I'll just slide that off, and then we can get this, go ahead and get the rest of this cover off and get that cam replaced. Alright, I just took the tool back off. Here's my snap ring. Get this plate off. And here's the canceling cam right here. Alright, so if you look at how this looks, you can kind of tell how it needs to go back on there. You got two tabs down here on this canceling cam, on this horn pad really. It goes right in there in that area. So you have this spring right here. So when you get this back on, you gotta set that on there, line it up kind of where it goes, and then put your installer tool back on there and press it back down to get your snap ring on. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut off the video and do that real quick. Okay, I got everything back on here. Now I'm gonna look at taking the whole column out and taping stuff up, and maybe taking off the levers and stuff, and getting this maroon stuff painted black. Alright, I think I got this about ready. I got my lock tumbler for my ignition key taped off. I've got this shaft taped off here, and then I've got just the wiring harness taped up so that I don't end up spraying all of those black. And I cleaned it up, Scotch-Brite pad, some soapy water, scuffed it down, and then I went back over it with just a blue shop towel and some mineral spirits. Just wiped it down real good. Went ahead and removed my lever, shift lever, and removed the tilt column lever. This is all busted up, so I got a new one, so I'm not worried about getting overspray on that at all. So not gonna worry about it. And I'm not really going to worry about these rods for the lights and the blinkers and all that kind of stuff. I'll just spray over there. You can see how GM did it. Pretty much it just sprayed over it too. So I'm going to use the same method. I'm going to use this as my primer. Just metal, fiberglass, more, whatever. I'm going to prime it with that. We'll spray it with this semi-gloss black, and then I'm gonna go ahead and clear coat it with satin clear. And we'll hopefully works out how I have it planned out in my mind, but we'll see in a minute. I got it hanging up here with the first coat of primer on it. Works out pretty good as a hanging rack to paint. I'm not super worried about this section under here because, I mean, it's gonna be way up under there by your feet. Not really gonna be looking at it. So I'm really just worried about this section and getting this done and matching the steering wheel and the rest of the interior. I mean, the rest of the steering column is black anyways. I didn't paint any of that from the factory. So I know it looks a little bit rusty, but I mean, there's gonna be carpet and stuff up under there too, so may not even see it with the carpet under there. So I think it'll be all right. Got, I don't know, 2 or 3 more coats of this to go, and then I'll start working on making sure it's smoothed out before I put the black on there. All right, this has been hanging up here for a few days. Like I said, I used Rust-Oleum, acrylic enamel, semi-gloss. I use this primer sealer, and then it was actually looking too glossy with the semi-gloss, so I hit it with this epoxy paint on the very top layer, a pretty thin coat of that, and then I hit it with the satin clear, and it took some of the gloss out of there. Now it looks more satin and looks pretty good. I'm about to take it down and put it back in the El Camino. It's way better than that maroon. So let me get it down and get it back in the truck. As I'm going back together with this, I'm realizing it's taken me a minute to find the hole on this that the rod goes through. I'm looking all over it, trying to figure out, okay, where's it go? Where's the hole that this thing goes in? And it took me a minute because I didn't take a whole lot of pictures or video when I took it apart, and so I'm looking all around trying to figure out where it goes, and then I finally see this slot right here, and so that's where it goes when you go to put this back together. This rod for the ignition, and this is the ignition switch. This rod for the ignition switch rides in there just like that, and then this, which is your dimmer switch for the headlights. You know, if you can hear it. That's when you pull on your multifunction switch here, turn the brights on. That's what it's doing, pushing that rod down and hitting that switch right there. This bracket actually sits up on top of your ignition switch like that, and so you got one screw here, one there, and then you got one in this little hole back here. So that's how that sits on there together, and you can see that these brackets are slotted. So if you get it together and it's not really working, or you're hitting the switch and it's not turning the light on or something like that, it's not turning the brights on, this is made to slide so that you can adjust where the switch sits at. So that's how you work that. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the bolts in, get it back together, and put the column back in the truck. Alright, so there it is in the vehicle installed. It looks pretty good. I think the Alcantara on the steering wheel is a little bit darker than the leather, and so it kind of matches with the steering column there, but the steering column is still just a little bit bright. I wish I could have got a little bit more flat or a little bit more satin, but I think it looks pretty good. But I will say it kind of matches my harness bar in here, the shade of black and all that, and the harness bar was powder coated, so I think it turned out pretty good. Tell you what, it looks a heck of a lot better than that maroon. But I will show you this real quick as we walk around. Wah, wah. I nicked it a little bit going back in with it. I don't even know how I did that, but I'm hoping that the dash will cover a lot of that, so probably won't even be able to see that really. I might even get a Sharpie, just put some Sharpie on it right there. But like I said, looks way better than the old maroon that was in there, so I'm happy with the way that it turned out. That's going to do it for this video. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment, and hit the notification bell for new videos. Thanks for watching Cars and Joshy. Josh out.